I played Naya GP Atlanta. I did very bad. Like, but I mean, you just gotta like he even said like you just gotta know certain times to be greedy and certain times not to be.
So here we go into the finals. I'm here. I'm Gavin Verhey. I'm here with Dan Jordan, David Shields, Grand Prix Dallas Fort Worth champion. Dan Jordan got knocked out in the quarterfinals of this event, and we're about to watch the finals between Jim Davis and Pat Cox of the Star City Games Invitational here in Indianapolis. On your right-hand side, Jim Davis, a master of goblins. He knows how to play this deck phenomenally. We've seen him play it great so far, and he's played goblins forever. On your left, Pat Cox, also no stranger to his deck, Zoo. He knows how to play Zoo very well as well. Top-8 a couple Star City Opens, 2 Grand Prix, a Pro Tour, right?
I don't know if he top-8 the Pro Tour yet.
No.
But I think literally these two guys could play their decks blindfolded.
Yeah.
Like they're just masters of their decks, and you know I'm pretty excited to see what happens. But because Pat Cox knocked me out and Jim Davis from New York, I'm rooting for Jim Davis.
Jim Davis already beat 1 Zoo deck on his way here.
So Pat Cox looks like he's on the play and keeps his 7, and Jim's going to 6 on the draw.
Yep, Jim's going to 6. Who was at the top-8 Pro Tour Austin with Zoo?
Brian Kibler?
No, not Kibler. There's another one.
Hunter Burton?
Okay, I was thinking of the wrong player.
Because Kibler had the Punishing Fire in his Zoo deck, but there was another Zoo deck that didn't have
Zoo colors.
Yeah.
There were actually 3 Zoo decks in that top 8. I think there was the Japanese one with Special Procession.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he made the finals, right? I think so. He beat Martin Juza and then played Brian Kibler in the finals. I'm pretty sure.
I think he might have, yeah. But so Pat Cox, not top 8 at a Pro Tour yet, but top 8 at Grand Prix, all kinds of Star City events. Really good with his Zoo deck. Should be a really interesting match to watch. 2 people at the height of their performance. And note, Pat Cox has Stoneforge Mystic in his deck, so it's not absent from this matchup.
Yeah, I think the Stoneforge is gonna be really good because like I think he has a Jit in his list, and I mean like. I mean, he can go get Skirt Prospector and hold out the Jit for a little while, but I mean, he's got so many removal spells. Like, I honestly thought Zoo was favorite, but I mean, I guess Pat Sullivan just got destroyed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what to say.
I talked to Pat after his match, like I said earlier, too. Pat said he had as good of a draw as he could have asked for in the second game and still felt like he didn't really have a shot. So shows the power level of the Goblin deck. It gets one of its... It goes off with its creatures, it's really hard to fight.
Yep, and this time Jim's up against a different Pat, and same archetype. Although Pat Cox is a little different deck. I'd say Sullivan's deck is more of a Burn Zoo deck. Pat Cox is more of the big Zoo deck people are playing. It's got Nether Reliquary among some other cards.
Yeah, I actually like Pat Cox's version better. I'm not a big fan of Step Links. Like, sometimes it just doesn't do anything. I mean, against certain matchups like control decks, you kind of want to see it, but it's just like, you're already winning those matchups anyways. You don't need to win more.
There's the optimal turn 1.
Yep, Taiga into Wild Nacatl for Pat Cox. Yeah, I was talking to Chapin earlier, who said he was talked a lot with Sullivan, and Sullivan said he just hated the Step Links all weekend. He wished he could have cut them. But the Wastelands in his deck were really good for him. So
Wasteland was a card a lot of people cut coming into this tournament after Providence, and it was actually, after talking with a lot of people after the event, people regretted going down to only 2 copies because of the number of factories in the tournament.
yeah.
It's definitely a card that can get you a lot of wins.
And there's Aether Vial from Jim Davis, and that and Goblin Lackey are the 2 cards you want to see on turn 1 when you're playing that deck.
I think that's the main reason why people stop playing it, because they're like, your 2 best cards in your deck both cost 1, and there's this card that's going to counter them, and they don't need a land. It's called Mental Misstep. Probably heard of it. How sick would it be if Jim Davis played Scrim? He has snow-covered mountains right there.
You gotta bluff it, right?
Oh,
so
man.
Pat Cox plays a turn 2 Quasali Pride Mage, letting that Nacatl serve in for the full 4.
Jeez.
Jim Davis down to 15. This
Draws a second Vial.
This is much different from the matchup we saw with Patrick Sullivan, where Jim Davis just overran him. Pat Cox is the one doing the overrunning so far. 2 good creatures versus Jim's no board, but that could change in a second. Goblins is good about building up from nothing. A Mog War Marshal later. And
so I see a Prospector and a Ringleader, and probably going to play the second Vial here, you think?
I can't see the last 2 cards.
yeah,
They're definitely creatures, they're not lands, so he definitely doesn't have any more lands in his hand.
Let's see. Alright, there's
second Vial.
There's Vial. Cracks his Arid Mesa.
Yeah, I really don't like Vial in matchups like this. You need to be doing things. I mean, granted, Goblin's a deck that needs Vial more than any other Vial deck, but it's just I would actually like to see him board him out after game 1, but I mean,
especially when you're on the mulligan, having 2 vials, just 2 cards that aren't going to be impacting the board that much. So.
Right. Okay, I think he has a lackey in hand right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you definitely don't want to ever draw 2. Maybe you board out like 2 vials or something like that, just prevent like drawing 2 of them.
That's what I did actually.
Yeah.
Standard winner box number 8.
And Pat pushes for 5 damage.
Standard winner box number 8. Your event is ready to begin.
You can't even like realistically put a lackey in and try to double block here. I mean, Pat is playing a lot of burn in this deck. He's playing 4 helixes, 3 lightning bolts. He's got 3 or 4 paths. It's just like unbelievable amounts of removal.
Wow. So yeah, he does have a lackey.
Oh wow, is he really gonna go for it?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Double block the Pride Mage. Okay. Oh, he's gonna remove one of them.
Have the lightning bolt.
And that is really bad news for Jim Davis. Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised Jim Davis made that play. I mean, taking 2 damage, like, you just get totally blown out, you know? It's either just take the 2 damage.
Yeah.
Wow, low mine and Kurt
so
post-combat for Pat Cox.
Almost.
There's a good chance Pat Cox just drew extremely well all day. I don't know. I mean, this is...
Yeah. So it looks like Jim's left with a pile driver and a ringleader, I think, and a land that he just drew.
Yes, there's the land,
Yep,
Taiga. And wow, he's just passing the turn. He's about to get plummeted for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage on the board.
Going down to 2 life. This game looks almost unwinnable from this point.
See, puts in pile driver.
Unwinnable after you play for Solid Pride Mage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was a great start right by Pat Cox.
yeah.
Losing the die roll and being on the mulligan is definitely not how Jim wanted to start this match, but
And almost a double mulligan too because of the Aether Vials.
because of the 2 vials, yeah.
Yeah.
The Zoo deck is so fast and so strong that their great start is 2 cards and 2 lands. Like, that is ridiculous.
So Jim Davis draws a port, and I guess he can ringleader.
Play the 4th land and cast ringleader.
Try to hit the nuts. I mean, I don't know what
Even
he
if
can
he
hit.
hits 4 goblins here, it'd still be hard to see him winning this game.
Well, he does have war. Okay,
2 war chiefs.
Okay, I don't think that's going to be able to do it though.
No,
Yeah, he does the
so
math.
Yep, he's dead on board.
Yep, packs it in. So Pat Cox up to an early 1-0 lead. We've seen Pat playing these events all year long so far, and it's going to be his performance where he wins the Invitational. Pretty exciting stuff. A lot on the line here. There's a $2,000 on the line for both players, as well as 5 open points.
And a large trophy.
Coming soon, speaking of winning, the 2012 core set. If you want to read articles by these players, I'm sure Pat Cox will probably read a report. If he wins, Jim Davis will probably read a report if he wins. If you buy a box, you get a free month of Star City Games Premium. So M12 is going to have some great new cards in it. Gideon Jura is coming back for one. Another year in Standard is going to make a big difference to the format. If you don't have your copies, you're going to want to get them now. Some Bloodthirst stuff. A lot of new interesting stuff will surely be in the set. Titans maybe won't be back. We don't know yet. So there'll be some good Mythic Rares for sure. So pre-order your box now and get a free month of Star City Games Premium. Read articles by these players and more: Patrick Chapin, Mike Flores, Brian Kibler, Brad Nelson, Dan Jordan. Some of the best in the game.
Some of the best. I like that. You know, Brad Nelson, Player of the Year, and then Dan Jordan. I top 16 to Pro Tour once.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Ninth place.
No, 13.
Oh, you were not.
13.
I thought you were 9.
No. No, that would have made me feel great though.
I mean,
Brad did take 9th in Honolulu.
Yes, that's right. Not everybody can top 16 Pro Tour though. Still pretty impressive.
True.
Not a small feat.
I mean, if there's one thing I learned about going to a Pro Tour is don't ever waste these opportunities. Like, I went to Pro Tour Austin, the one that Kibler and like all the Dark Depths people broke, and I just wasted my opportunity. And like, then I went there and I was like, there's no way I'm doing this again. And I just tested more than I've ever tested for any other format in my life, and you know, top 16. Like, I'm not too mad with that. You know, so I mean, I was pretty happy. You know, $5,000, like 8 pro points,
Qualified for the next Pro Tour.
Yeah, I went to Paris. You know, I mean, like, play the game, see the world. You know.
Or at least see the convention centers, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, you went to Paris. You probably spent some extra time there, right?
I'd like to think that. You know, but I actually got there for an extra day. Actually, Christian Calcano one day posted the Facebook status. He found a $291 flight to Paris.
Wow, that's
And
absurd.
We snap booked that so quick. It just drove down JFK. It was like, never been here in my life. I'm flying $291. I was gonna spend $800. It was ridiculous. I had a good time in Paris. I mean, you don't know good bread or pastries until you go to Paris.
Yeah.
I will say that.
That's what Rashad Miller was talking about earlier, how he just ate croissants every day. He's like, you don't know good pastries until you've had Paris croissants.
Yeah, you just pay like 80 cents. You get like this huge baguette, and you're just like, all right, I've never eaten regular just plain bread in my life. I'm just gonna do it though, because it's so good. It's so delicious. I just miss it already.
There you go. You get your rating up high enough. You qualify for a pro tour doing top 16. You too can eat gigantic baguettes.
Exactly. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. It's just as easy as that.
Top 16 pro tour. Be friends with Christian Calcano to get you a flight. But if you're not friends with Christian Calcano, you probably should be. So.
Yeah, you know, Christian Calcano is pretty much the nut. Like that, he exploded last year. Like
yeah.
He was like relatively like everyone in the area knew him, and then like he won a PTQ for San Juan out of nowhere, like 4 forward, whatever. And then like he was 5-0 in an open and dropped, and I was like, dude, I would never do that in my life. And just dropped a Q for Amsterdam rating, and it was like 33rd in Amsterdam.
Yep.
Walked away for top 8 of GP Gothenburg, top 16 GP Portland. Like just kept going. He was like a limited master for a while. And I'm really happy for him. You know,
he's insane. Yeah, he did well at Worlds this year too. Last year.
Yeah. I think he top 16 Worlds.
Yeah, I think top 16 or top 13, one of the two. It's just incredible.
Yeah, he took 15th. Yeah.
Speaking of New York natives, Jim Davis still lives in New York, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Wow.
I think Pat's from Florida, right?
Yeah, he's definitely from the south.
Yeah, he's pretty good friends with like Megan Holland, so I assume
yeah,
so.
I know he worked a lot with Oren Beasley, and the two of them both played the same deck in Type 2, and they were talking about how they were very glad that the top 8 was Legacy and not Type 2, because they were not nearly as happy with their standard deck.
That's funny, because some of the players in top 8 were like the exact opposite. Michael Jacob was like, oh man, I wish we could be playing standard right now.
Definitely interesting choice for the difference between this Open being Legacy top 8 and the upcoming one being a standard top 8.
Yeah, exactly. Charlotte at the end of the year will have a standard top 8.
Fresh new format.
Fresh new format. Should be exciting. See how that goes.
No Jace the Mind Sculptors.
No Stoneforge Mystics.
Dude, what are we going to play?
Yeah, that's what was in. Block constructed very important right now for that reason.
Yeah, looks like I'll be playing Temper Steals.
So the players draw their opening 7. They both have the same kind of pose going on right now. Looking at their opening hands.
Looks like he has a lot of hands in his hand.
Table 5.
Alright.
Once again,
Tony Chu,
not
Elspeth table.
Yeah, this is not what Jim wants to see.
Alex Krennic and Andrew Lozano.
And it looks like Pat Cox is okay with his hands.
And table 11, Alex Bertuccini and Kevin Gearhart to the Benzer
So
table,
Jim on the
please.
play. Jim's on the play here, and he's mulling down to 6, which is going to put him even further back in the hole. Pat Cox keeping a 7-card hand. We could easily see another really fast start by Pat. Maybe Jim Davis is going to fall.
Like I said, I really like this matchup for Pat. I mean, like, and Pat snap kept his hand. I mean,
yeah.
He just needs like 2 creatures and all the burn and like and his rest of his, as long as he doesn't get land flooded, I mean, he should be good. I mean, I really think Pat, even without the mulligans, I really think Pat was going to win this one.
Judges,
I hope Jim Davis does.
Players, please find your seat.
Well, see what happens.
Final round.
Giving his deck a good shuffle for lets Jim see his next 6 cards. All right. And 10th Street Hooligan. See a couple goblins.
He has 1 land.
Yeah, I just see a Scalding Tarn for his only land. And Jim's going into the tank. Can I really keep this, or can I really mulligan again?
This is going to be a really crappy finals. It's mulligan.
Yeah, beating a deck like Zoo with only 5 cards is not an easy feat, especially when you're on the play.
You play a 1-mana 3/3. A 1-mana 3/3.
It's true.
Without a Vial, the Goblin deck definitely cannot function with only 1 land.
And Jim Davis puts it back, going down to 5 cards.
He's so calm and cool right now. Like he's been here before. He can do it. Like, I mean, you know, it's magic. You mulligan. It stinks, but like.
Yeah. Pat Cox looks almost as unhappy about it as Jim does. Clearly not the way he wants to win a match, but when you're in the finals, he'll take it.
Welcome to round 9.
It's also possible that Pat. I mean, it's possible Pat just kept a bad hand too. I mean, he kept 7 cards. I'm sure it was probably pretty good, but maybe Jim has a shot that way. I don't know.
And I mean, if there's a deck that can come back from 5 cards, a deck like Goblins can absolutely do it with, playing Goblin Matron and Ringleader. They can, fill their hand right back up real quick.
Yeah, you get a good Lackey draw or 8 Vial draw.
Jim is singing right now. He is so carefree. He's playing for an extra 2. He's going. If you split, he got 9,000. If he wins, he gets 10,000. He's playing for an extra $1,000. He's just singing his soul away.
If you're Jim Davis, what is the ideal 5 cards? The best 5 cards you can see right now.
So many Mog War Marshals. I would. It has to. I mean, if he didn't board out those Ether Vials, it's gonna have to be probably 1 or 2 lands, Ether Vial, then like something that just like, and then like maybe War Marshal and then Matron / Ringleader. Because you're gonna need War Marshal in this matchup. I think there's no shot unless you have it.
Yeah, I mean, War Marshal is really good against Zoo because it just blocks 2-3 times. You just buy some time to set up your Ringleaders that you need, kick up your Aether Vials, a couple extra counters, whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, the long game definitely favors the Goblins player. I mean, all your card advantage cards. I mean, your opponent's just playing a 3/3 and you're playing a 2/2 plus a 3/1/1s,
Yeah.
Obviously it's gonna favor Jim.
So going down to 5 cards. See what they are. Uh-oh. I see a Port. Is that his only land? It looks like
I think I see a Mental Misstep, 10th Street Hooligan,
Pyrokinesis.
I think I'd actually keep this hand, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think you can go to 4.
I mean, no. You Pyrokinesis blow them out, potentially. Pat Cox to reach on for it?
Like, this hand, if it draws a land, he could definitely win this game. I could see it happen with total certainty.
Alright, well, Pat Cox fetches on the first turn. Probably Wild Mikado coming down, maybe?
Looks like Wild Mikado. It could be Grim Lavamancer.
Or, once again, Loam-Line Curdape.
Well,
it can't be Loam-Line.
Or I guess no. You got to get
I think no matter what it is, you have to Mental Misstep it.
Yep, agreed, 100%. Actually, I agree. If Jim Davis draws a land, he might be in it. That was one of the best 5-card hands you could see as long as he sees a land here.
Come on, Jim. That's my boy, Jim. That's my boy.
So Jim Davis, fine Scalding Tarn, instantly cracks it.
So does he get a Taiga here or a Mountain?
You might as well get a Taiga. I mean,
yeah,
you're not getting wasted.
Pretty much all in.
Yeah. I mean, Tinscher Hooligan is going to do a lot, but...
Just when you think Jim Davis is going to give us a boring fight, as he comes right back. That's my boy. Represent New York.
And he even has Mog War Marshal in his hand.
What are the other 2 cards? It's Pyrokinesis and...
10th Street Hooligan, Mog War Marshal.
I'm going to go with Mog War Marshal here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little left field, but, I think I'm feeling it.
Alright, yeah, there's the War Marshal.
Come on, Jim.
The Moggiest, as it were. So we'll see what Pat does here.
Jim has all these Mega Man tokens for all his goblins.
Yeah, I love that. I've watched it the whole match.
They're amazing.
Alright, so Kurdite comes down for Pat Cox.
So Pat's hand has to be so removal heavy. Like, I mean, Jim wants to play this type of game.
Yeah.
Like,
Jim draws an Aether Vial here. Definitely not what he wanted to see.
I actually don't mind it here, to be honest with you. I mean, the game's gonna go long, and like he doesn't have lands right now, so he doesn't see mold to 5. So it's gonna make all the heavier cards more castable.
I think Pat Cox has a Chain Lightning in his hand. I think I saw that early. Otherwise, I don't really know what's in the rest of his hand. Serves with Kurdate. Do you block here or just
No,
take it?
definitely not.
Yeah,
Because they're gonna have bigger creatures.
Yeah.
It's like gaining an extra life when you wait till they play a bigger creature.
Agreed.
Oh god.
Grim will have a Mancer. That is a big problem for Jim Davis. Jim Davis.
Oh, he does a Pyrokinesis though.
Oh, that's true. And he can kill both his creatures.
Right.
Or I was gonna say.
No, he paid for it last turn.
I was gonna say he needed Gem Palm Incinerator, and he drew it.
So if he cycles Gem Palm, draws a land, and gets to play Ether Vial, he's like extremely in this game.
Yeah.
Come on, Jim. I believe in Jim.
All right. So he's gonna pay 2, do some. Pay 2, do some cycling. Attack first, sure.
Would you like to trade?
Just in case. And then, yeah, I think we're just going to see Cycle, Incinerator, kill Grim Lavamancer.
Please don't have a path on a bull.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to Pyrokinesis. Kills both of his opponent's creatures. For those who don't know what it does, it's the Red Force of Will. It's a sorcery. You can exile a red card. Or it's an instant? Okay, instant, exile a red card, deal 4 damage divided how you choose among any number of creatures. Does not deal your point of damage like Force of Will does.
I really think I had no shot in this top 8. Like,
these
these matchups seem so bad.
It was a bad top 8 for Murpho.
Oh yeah, it was. Can we just play standard once?
With the exception of Ben's deck, there really wasn't a good matchup for you in the top 8.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, wow.
So Pat doesn't have another creature to play. Jim Davis actually looking like he might be able to get right back into this. Displays Mulligan to 5.
There we go, Jim.
He's able to sing a little bit and got into it. Is that,
Oh,
is
wow.
that another?
Another incinerator.
Wow.
Almost the perfect combo.
So he just needs one more Galvan. He can cycle for 3. 3 is the magic number against the Zoo decks because a lot of their guys have 3 toughness.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, he'll also have removal spells.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's but I mean, like, it's going to get to a point where, who knows, maybe Packox might have to, like, kill a Goblin token. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I mean, you know it's a tough day when you're chain lightning a Mega Man.
Mega Man has chain lightning so many times.
Players in the second draft.
All right, so Pat Cox cracked the special line.
Then out his deck.
Yep. And if you're Pat, you just want to find something big, a Knight of Reliquary, a
He
Tarmogoyf.
has no Knight of Reliquaries.
Oh, he's no Knights, okay.
Yeah.
So Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I mean, Tarmogoyf ideally. But, I mean, you'll take any creature right here. I mean, like, you're still not even too mad at removal, but, you know, you're not winning the game where you're drawing removal here.
And 5th land for Patrick Cox. All right, Loam Lion. So, sees what Pat has. So he's going to port down a land. Not really relevant, but, you know, just tight little play just in case.
Yeah.
You never know. So if you're Jim Davis, you go attack after block, cycle Incinerator.
Oh, I want to...
Another
Wow.
Incinerator. Trips.
So he put his Aether Vial up to 3, so he can put Incinerator in play, actually.
Well, no, because if
If Pat has a Lightning Bolt, though, that could spell bad.
I just think, honestly, you want to pass here, because I think his hand, right now, without a question, probably has 2 removal spells.
Wow, and he does just that. Passes right back to Pat Cox.
Almost instantly.
I taught Jim everything he knows, man.
Pretty tight play by Jim Davis. I don't think a lot of players would have passed there. I think they would have just been like, well, I'm the beatdown deck. I got to press this advantage. They would have attacked and cycled, or been like, well, if he has it, and cycled. I like that pass. I hadn't really seen that play, but that's good.
You definitely have to know to change modes, you know, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
There's a huge, like, I mean, like, the only way he doesn't have 2 removal spells is if he has 2 more land in hand. And he's been going fetch, play land, fetch, you know. So.
Yeah. Loam Lion serves in. Jim's going to take it. And let's see, Grim Lavamancer. Now that guy is almost certainly getting killed at the
That
end of
guy
turn.
is getting killed with Gem Compensator.
Yeah.
100%.
Getting incinerated. And the sweet part is, for Jim Davis, is if Patrick's like, well, okay, I'll kill both of your guys in response, he can even vial in an incinerator.
Well, he would have to have Path to Exile for the War Marshal, because he'll get a guy.
Right.
But that would be pretty sick if he did have a Path to Exile, and then he just puts in a Gem Palm.
Yeah.
You know, granted, you want to keep all your Gem Palms.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about it until he just started playing them. That is a way that he can win.
Is that another
Don't even
gem
tell
palm?
me that's another Gem
Did you
Palm.
draw all 4 gem palms
I think he did.
consecutively? That's absurd to me. I think.
Tin Street Hooligan, too.
Okay, draws a hooligan. I think it's all 4 gem palms. So he boarded in his other hooligan. Maybe he just had too many cards to take out. He already
he
exiled
has
one
a
hooligan,
Jit.
right?
He has a Jit.
Okay.
So-
Oh, sure.
You always want to have that one card just to, like, Matron for and kill his Jit.
Yeah, like if you get a GT active, it's just really bad news if you're a Goblins deck.
It's awful.
So now Jim Davis is thinking what he wants to do here.
It looks like that either was on 3.
3 counters on the vial.
Yeah.
So what do you think you do? You think you lay the hooligan? Do you think you cycle or do you think you leave up incinerator?
I think I'm ready to race here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'd dash for 2, put in Tin Street. Yep, there we go, Jim. Come on. And it's just, you know, you can put in your Gem Palm and then just start cycling. Like, you know, if he does have 3 Gem Palms in hand,
Okay, so he doesn't cast the hooligan.
Pat draws another land.
Okay. Serves in for 2 with the Loam Lion. And Jim activates the vial. Puts in Gem Palm Incinerator. Get him, Incinerator.
Yeah, he does have 2 more
Yeah.
Incinerators.
Did you draw all those consecutively? Was that 4 in a row?
I think it
I'm pretty
was.
sure that was 4 Incinerators in a row. That is some crazy talk right there. So he ports down a land at the end of Pat Cox's turns for good measure. Okay.
I like Jim's chances. Like,
He's going to serve for 4 this turn.
yeah.
I mean, he's winning the race right now. Pat Cox has just got a little mana flooded. That's what I was talking about. Pat just had an okay draw. Jim had some good answers. Pat got a little mana flooded, and Jim's right back in the game.
Yeah, Jim's ahead right now.
Yeah. So Jim draws a Wasteland. Okay, not going to do a lot there. Yeah, you just serve for 4. Do you think you cycle the Incinerator to try and kill the Loam Lion?
I could see actually just attacking for 3, leaving back War Marshal, not having to waste your Incinerator right now, and just playing a Tin Street, or you don't even have to really play Tin Street here. Just like you just don't need to be in a rush at this time. I'd also like a port on his land on the upkeep, because the only thing I'd be really scared right now is a Stoneforge into Jit into Equip, if you're going to play Tin Street.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. You do want to play around Stoneforge Mystic, because that, if that gets online, that would totally turn the game back in Pat's favor.
Right. I'll be impressed. So if you attack for 3, and it looks like Pat has 3 cards in hand.
2 cards, 2 or 3 cards. Yes.
It's 2 or 3, yeah. So you attack for 3, you put Tin Street in. Pat can't even reasonably attack if you do that. And then you have a Gem Palm. So okay.
All right. So Jim serves for all 4 points, dropping Pat to 6 life. I mean, I kind of like the play. Puts Pat to dead next turn if he attacks. I mean, Pat's probably not going to attack, but or maybe Jim's just going to wasteland to keep him off of the mana for Stoneforge Jite.
Right. Like he doesn't need the extra lands, you know, and that's also a good point. I got the list.
Okay, cool. So down goes Plateau. And yeah, I'm looking over Pat Cox's deck list trying to see what he wants to draw right now. And
so he doesn't play it here.
Okay, so he just passes. Pat gets aggressive with that Loam Lion. Does Pat have just a bunch of burn in his hand?
I mean, this can be really scary right here. Like, if there's 3-point damage burn spells in hand, which is extremely likely, he's just dead if he doesn't block.
Right, so I think you have to cycle Incinerator right now.
I would cycle Incinerator here, and when he's going to do that, if he has a burn spell, he's going to try to kill his guy. And then you put in another Incinerator.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're just killing a bunch of guys that are just, like, doing nothing, you know what I mean?
Right. And then if he doesn't have the removal spell, then at that point, whatever. I mean, you spent both your burn spells on my guys.
Right.
Alright, cycle Incinerator. And Pat Cox has got to be like, another one? Little does he know, right? Like, alright, Jim Davis cycles, Pat Cox thinking.
What?
And drawing all 4 Incinerators in a row, that is crazy.
I mean, it's probably, I want to say, one of the more important ways to win this matchup. He definitely doesn't have Warren Weirding either, so yeah, he has to just draw his Gem Bomb. Oh, he had 4 main, too. He has a Goblin Sharpshooter, I could see that being useful. Yeah, I mean, actually, either board, to be honest, I can actually see Jim winning this a lot. Oh, so he doesn't burn or anything, he just lets his guy die.
Okay. Now let's see what Pat Cox chooses to do. Does he draw Tarmogoyf? He's tapping 2 mana. There's Tarmogoyf.
Okay.
How big is that guy be?
Okay, that'll create some blocking. How big is that Goyf right now?
Probably not too big. I want to say like 3-4 at max. There's an instant, like, yeah, 3-4.
Let's see. Creature, land. Yeah, I don't think.
There was, I think, a misstep.
Yeah, missteps instant, but no sorcerers yet, right? Or
no.
And also Pyrokinesis.
Oh, Pyrokinesis. That's instant.
It's instant, so yeah. So 3-4, yeah. So not actually that big. Huh.
Jim's really in the tank right now. Okay, there we go.
Alright, Jim goes for the untap. Doesn't do anything at the end of Pat Cox's turn. He had the option to put that another Incinerator into play, but chooses not to.
Which is 100% right, of course. Draws a land. Jim takes a lot of time on his plays. He's really, like, methodical.
Yeah, let's see. So he's in the finals. Clearly, he's being very careful about what he's doing. He doesn't want to accidentally.
Just give Pat Cox $1,000.
yeah, exactly. That too.
I wouldn't even mind like an attack here, and just like trade one of your guys and your Gem Palm for his Tarmogoyf. That really seems like a war that favors Jim.
I mean, that Tarmogoyf is going to be a big issue for Jim Davis. I mean, that guy's really big, and Jim doesn't have a good answer to it right now. And so I think you just want to get it off the board. I agree with that. So he's tapping 2. What is Jim Davis's plan?
I mean, I don't know if he's got another creature. I think if he's gonna make this play, he probably has another creature in his hand.
Let's see.
I do not know.
Okay, there's Century Hooligan. So we can't Incinerator anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you have nothing else here to
Yeah.
do, but
I mean,
Century can go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hadcock cracked a fetch land.
Again. He goes, cracking a fetch land's so scary here. You go to 5 life.
Man, jeez, it's so many lands for Pat Cox.
Yeah.
Really flooding out with the zoo deck.
He's only playing what looks like 12, 13, 14, 15, 20 lands? Yeah, like, he's drawing probably at least 12 of them.
Chain Lightning. Uh-oh. Does that mean that's 6 damage?
No
Lightning Bolt.
way.
Does he have... That's 3, right?
That's 9 right there. Oh, don't tell me.
Does he have the last one, too?
He's gotta. Look at Jim. He knows it's coming.
Uh-oh. That might be it for Jim Davis.
Wow.
Lightning Helix.
That's just...
Is that it? That's it? Wow, despite a really good fight by Jim Davis, really good draw on 5 cards. Congratulations to Pat Cox, our Star City Games Indianapolis Invitational champion. Congratulations.